folks at Switchback. Do you need a personal locator beacon? Yes. That's all. Thanks. Bye. Well, there's a little more to it than that. What is a personal locator beacon versus a satellite communicator? So there are standalone personal locator beacons that all they do is they have an SOS button, and once it's pressed, and that's it. The battery life on those is several years. You'll have to look and see how long the battery is if you do get one for that specific model, but that is the only function of that particular item. Now, I personally like having a satellite communicator, and that's what this is. This also has an SOS button, as the satellite communicators do, but I can also cancel it if somehow I press it and I don't need help, or things improve and I don't need help. And I can also communicate with search and rescue to let them know what exactly is the problem. Do I have a broken leg? Am I lost? What is the problem? Additionally, I can get weather reports on this, and I can communicate with loved ones back home. So I'm always messaging back and forth with Mountain Goat just to let her know that I'm safe. I can use preset buttons, or I can send custom messages. All of this requires a subscription, which a personal locator beacon that's a standalone does not. But for the price, it's worth it. I may be using the terms satellite communicator and personal locator beacon, or PLB, interchangeably, but when I am talking about that, I'm going to be referring to a satellite communicator. This is not an avalanche beacon, and it's not a sat phone. Those are completely different items, and they will not be covered in this video. It's important to know that a personal locator beacon is not a replacement for proper planning or good judgment, and it does not mean you're going to have an instant rescue. When and why should you carry a personal locator beacon? If you're out solo and no one can go for help or help you if you're injured, especially if you're in a more remote area versus a popular long trail, which is going to have a lot of foot traffic. If you're in a group, it's a good idea for at least someone to have one. If you're not totally confident about cell phone reception where you're headed, right here in this specific spot, because I can see Placerville in the background there, I do have a couple of bars. So I have been able to text, but when I move to my next location, very unlikely. So it's really nice to be able to know that I have communication. If you're taking riskier trips in more challenging conditions, it's important to know that rescue will not come for your dog. If your dog is injured, you're on your own on that one. But you can still communicate back home and find out where the nearest vet is and let everybody know at home what's going on. I personally like being able to communicate with Mountain Goat and let her know when plans change, I'm running behind, that I got to camp, and it gives her peace of mind. I also take it on day hikes where I'm not totally confident about cell phone reception, just in case of whatever. Wear it on the outside of your pack or somewhere on the outside of your gear where it's going to get reception. It doesn't do you any good if it's buried in a pocket, buried in your pack. You want to keep it within arm's reach at all times. And even when I'm in camp, I have it around the waistband of my waist pack here so that I know, even if I'm going to dig a cat hole, which I'm actually doing a wag bag on this trip, but either way, I can take this and I know that if I absolutely need it, and there's an emergency and I'm away from my pack, I have it. I personally carry the Garmin inReach Mini, and I really like this particular one. And if you'd like to see my comparison of that versus the Explorer Plus, I have a video up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you. Give it a like. I'll see you next time. Bye.